she sent me a link to Dead Mouse, Ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I heard that track and I was like, this is like really cool. And then like she sent me another link to the Bloody Beetroots
Oh my god.
Warp track.
Yeah,
And
so
then after that I was
good.
like, all right, dance music sounds pretty cool. This is something like I want to explore. I was working at Guitar Center full time,
Yeah.
and I was a front door greeting person. So I just stood there for 8 hours a day greeting people. I met Afrojack at Ultra last year.
Yeah.
Real brief, and he was like, yeah, man, like I love your track. Let's stay in contact. I'm a huge dog lover. I love dogs. I love animals. And I actually started volunteering.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here with Say My Name.
What's up? Say my name here.
So you were born in, how do you say it, Arcata or?
I was born in Humboldt County,
Oh.
which is in Eureka, California. That's a few hours past San Francisco. For those who don't know, Arcata.
Oh, Arcata.
I mean that's like the subsidiary like kind of county within where I was born.
Oh.
Yeah.
And from a young age, you're already into music, right? Your dad, or was a DJ, or still
Yeah,
does?
so my dad was a DJ. He did it as a hobby in high school, and like I grew up around music. He was always playing music in the house. So around, let's say middle school or 5th grade is when he gave me his turntables and taught me how to DJ. So yeah, music was pretty important in our family.
Yeah. What are your parents' careers then?
Right now, he is a private driver, and my mother, she's a school teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, she loves kids.
Is your mom creative as well? Like, did she teach you much about music?
She was not musically inclined at all, but she was pretty creative, always artsy, always had like these wild, like imaginative ideas. I think that's what helped her as a school teacher too.
Yeah. And how do you describe yourself back then growing up?
Oh, back then, I was a quiet kid. I mean, I was like into sports mainly, always into like art. But yeah, I was quiet, shy.
Were you really competitive in sports?
I was.
What sports?
I played volleyball, soccer, and basketball at different points in my life. Volleyball was my favorite, but yeah, I'd say I was pretty competitive.
Yeah. And so did you like travel and play against other schools and everything?
I did.
Wow.
Made it to varsity for volleyball in high school. Actually, varsity on both volleyball and basketball.
Wow.
In high school.
So that took up a lot of your time with the training?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Were you into school though? Did you like school?
I've loved school all my life. It was, I don't know, it's just something, like, I mean, obviously I didn't have certain subjects that I enjoyed, but, I don't know, I just loved the learning environment.
Did your parents kind of, not like inspire you, but like want you to do well academically? Or like, were they like, you should do well in school, like give you...
Yeah, my mother, she always pushed me from, let's say, as early as I can remember, preschool. She was always there, always volunteering in my classes, always making sure that like I was up to speed with any of the assignments we were doing or working on in class. And yeah, she was a huge reason why I was into academics.
Damn, that's so rare. You're probably like the 1% of musicians I've interviewed who like school. That's really cool.
I know.
What was your favorite subject?
My favorite
like in
subject
high school?
In high school was history.
Oh.
Yeah, I still love history. That was my favorite subject too, or one of my favorite subjects too in college was like religious studies or like history of religion.
Yeah, what do you love about it?
I just love to kind of, when I'm like, I love to think about that time and period and kind of put myself in the shoes of someone that lived in, like, say, like if I'm studying, like, for example, if I go to like a museum and they have like sculptures, Greek sculptures, or like paintings from someone's personal collection, like there, I love to like sit there and like think like, wow, like at one point someone, worked on this. It's just, I don't know, it's a weird fascination.
And you first started from GarageBand, right?
I did, yep. GarageBand was the first program. I think I still have my first beat somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I made it freshman year. Yeah, 2006.
What did it sound like?
It was just a hip hop, really simple hip hop beat. That was just like it was a bunch of loops that I found on GarageBand and just put together. Very simple, but it was still cool.
You also DJ'd in high school, right? Like for Halloween?
I did. I did. So I did a Halloween party my freshman year with a friend of mine, and I think that was really like the only real gig I had in high school.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I did like a couple of house parties, but that was really the only, like, I'd say actual gig.
Mm-hmm. And were you teaching yourself like turntables, or your dad teaching you? Or what type of DJing was it?
So my dad, he taught me for the first few weeks of me getting into, like, of him giving me turntables. Taught me for a few weeks, and he just told me have at it.
Yeah.
And then everything else was just kind of like, he taught me like kind of like everything I needed to know in those 3 weeks for me to like kind of develop my own style and identity as a DJ. And yeah, it was just, I was pretty much self-taught.
What kind of music were you listening to back then?
I was listening to mainly hip-hop.
Oh.
His collection, so he had basically a collection of just all 80s hip-hop, EDM, like literally like old school, like dance tracks.
Damn.
Like Kraftwerk, Twilight 22, like Run DMC, old school rap. So
Yeah.
those were like the records that I was exposed to and like practicing with.
Yeah. So you knew EDM from like the early stages of EDM when it first started.
I did, but I had no idea it was called EDM. I just like,
It's like house music.
well, I always called those records breakdancing tracks because I knew that like breakdancing was a big part of that whole hip hop movement.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that with the hip hop records in the clubs, people like in New York, well, all over America started spreading. They were dancing, like breakdancing to dance records, you know. So I didn't know that these were actually dance records. I just called them, breakdance tracks.
Yeah.
Not EDM.
And then for college, was that something that you wanted to do, or your parents kind of pushed you?
To go to college or to do music in college?
Go to college.
Oh, that's something I wanted to do. Yeah. My parents, they helped and supported me throughout the whole process, but there was no pressure on their end. They, like, I mean, I went to a private school where literally, I mean, there was like 39 students in my graduating class.
Oh, for...
In high school.
Yeah. Oh, okay, for high school.
Yeah, so basically everyone, at the time, everyone, we were all applying for school, and that was just kind of like the expected thing to do. Like, everyone went to college.
Yeah. And you studied advertising, right?
Yeah, public relations and advertising.
What about you drew you to those subjects? What about it?
I was talking to, at the time, well, my freshman year, I was undecided, and I had met with a counselor, told her, like, music is what I wanted to do, and she was like, well, first, you should, like, maybe look into the business side of things, and then after, like, a couple of meetings, she was like, you know what, you're more on the creative, maybe you should explore, like, advertising and PR. Maybe that's something that will help give you another, some more insight on the other side of the industry that you might need, years from now. And this was in 2011, you know. So and she was right, because I learned.
You liked it a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Marketing, advertising, how to write, how to create campaigns, how to write press releases. Just a lot of different skills that kind of culminated into a lot of the hands-on work that I've been doing today, aside from like the actual music production process.
Yeah. You felt like you didn't need to study music production or anything?
In school, well, we didn't have we had like one music production class.
Oh, I meant for college, like as a major.
Oh, that's the thing, we didn't have like a music production major.
Oh, I meant then. Oh, but you. Oh, so you never thought of going to like a music college? I mean.
Oh, I did. I thought about going to Icon.
Oh yeah.
But I had already like fully committed to Chapman University, and I was already in the process with all the scholarships, and I was just like, you know what? Let me give it a year here, and then a year became 2 years, 3 years, and then I just finished all 4 years because I just love that school.
Yeah, and you love writing research papers as well, right?
Do. I do love writing research papers.
What about it?
Just the challenge of, my favorite part about a research paper is finishing it.
Yeah, it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
So what year did you come up with your name?
2012.
Oh, and that's from Headhunters, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a moniker before?
I did. It was DJ Arcade.
But so why do you want to change it?
Just change the whole brand.
Yeah.
Under that name, like, things were not moving at all. Like, musically, like, my career was just at a stagnant place, and creatively, I just was like, you know what, let me try something new. And I had already been listening to a little bit of trap. I had already been listening to hardstyle. So that's when hard trap came to be about.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what, this could be a cool spin on what, on trap, like a cool subgenre. And yeah, that's how I started hard trap.
But wait, how did you get from listening to more hip hop to more electronic music?
Oh, that was that was in 2007 or 2008 actually. I had I started producing like pop records just for fun. I was listening to a lot of like Nelly Furtado, Gwen Stefani, and then from there, like one of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, like I'd see like pop and hip hop. Why don't you listen to dance music? It's kind of like similar, just a little bit more, like in your face." So she had sent me. I think this was closer to 2009. She sent me a link to Dead Mouse, Ghosts and Stuff.
Yeah.
And I heard that track and I was like, this is like really cool. And then like she sent me another link to the Bloody Beetroots.
Oh my god.
Warp track.
Yeah,
and
so
then after
good.
that, I was like, all right, dance music sounds pretty cool. This is something like I want to explore. So that's how and then from there I just started like doing my own research on YouTube and just started like making dance records.
And you also went to Armin van Buuren's concert, right? That was kind of life-changing.
That was life-changing. So it was Monster Massive Music Festival, Halloween Massive in 2009 in LA. And I was watching Armin's set, and that was kind of like the moment where I was at a crossroads in my life with music, because like I knew I wanted to DJ, but I didn't know like in what avenue. I thought like, oh, I could be a radio DJ. That could be cool. But then I didn't realize there were DJs playing festivals all around the world. And when I saw Armin, that was that exposure to the other side of DJing, where I was like, okay, I could be up there too.
Yeah.
And that's why it was basically life-changing. you know?
How did you get more into the trap side, right? Because they're not really trap artists.
Oh, that was that was when that whole trap wave came about in 2012.
Oh, so you were listening to like Mayhem, Bauer,
Yeah,
or even
well, I
before
saw
that?
that early.
Yeah.
No, it was right around. I'd say like, yeah, it was around that era when like, yeah, Mayhem, like Anti-Serum.
Oh my god. Like
all
Scott's
the
so
OG,
good.
Gucci,
Yeah.
Stookie. Yeah, that was when I like kind of got more, into trap.
And was that your sophomore year or when was that?
That was my junior year
Oh, okay.
in college. Yeah.
So you're already putting out stuff while you were in college. How
Yeah.
were you pushing it?
Just SoundCloud, and I would literally reach out to like as many blogs as I could, just send out emails. Because at the time, that was kind of like when blogs were still kind of like, I think they were, I would say like still they're still the central source of a lot of new music. So like I was getting a good amount of exposure from these blogs.
And probably you knew how to draft your PR statements, so that
did.
really helped because I get a bunch of things I'm like, you guys don't know what.
I did. I was writing some pretty cool emails.
And then how did you find out about the Insomniac event? The one that you won?
Oh, that was online.
Oh, so you just submitted?
I just saw that. I just saw their. I was following their socials, and I saw the opportunity to do the Discovery Project. And I had actually, I was literally this close to missing it because I caught it kind of late, and I like was putting so much like kind of like trying to like plan this perfect mix out that I almost missed the deadline for it. And that, put that on top of like school, because I was still working, in school. And I literally almost missed that deadline.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was life changing too.
And did that bring you a lot of like a new fan base and traction?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It basically gave me, they gave me my first, festival play.
Oh.
Which was cool because from there, fans that had no idea I even existed, they were just kind of passing the stage. And they were like, yo, I saw your set. Like, I still have fans that were like, to this day, they were like, I remember you at the Discovery stage.
No way, that's so cool. Wow. And then did you get a manager soon after, or how did it work out?
No, well, my current manager, I did not meet Jason until 2015. Yeah.
But you had like some before that helped you out, or?
Yeah.
After you graduated, were you working other jobs, or were you just living off music?
I was working at Guitar Center full time.
Yeah.
And I was a front door greeting person. So I just stood there for 8 hours a day greeting people.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, it sucked.
How long did you do that for?
Did that for almost 2 years, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you were just seeing your music kind of just like blow up from each release, or?
Yeah.
Like you knew you were like close to like living off of it.
Yeah, I knew I was close, but I had to wait for the perfect moment where like financially I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot and, not be able to support myself.
Yeah. Was it difficult making that decision, being like, okay, now finally?
It was. And it was because there were times where like I'll push it off, or I'd be like, okay, this is the month. And then 3 months later, I'm like, nah, I still gotta wait. And then, but like, I just knew when the time was absolutely right. But even then, I was still kind of hesitant.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those where I was like, you know what? I was so kind of like over, working 8 hours a day, standing at the front desk, that I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna just take this leap of faith.
Yeah. How did you meet Slender?
So I met Slender in 2012, actually. when they came and we both played this benefit concert at my school.
Oh.
And yeah, that was direct support for them. So they closed out the night. They were the headliners. And that's how I met them.
And then how did you meet the record labels like Bygore?
Oh, Bygore, so the labels, those were all through, so Bygore, I met them through just mutual friends and then just reaching out. A lot of the connections I've made were like kind of either hands-on, like meeting the guys at events in LA, or just like online through mutual friends who were like passing my music along, you know.
And for Afrojack, was that at an event or?
Yeah, so I met Afrojack at Ultra last year.
Yeah.
Real brief, and he was like, yeah, man, like I love your track. Let's stay in contact. So I'd reach out to him here and there, and finally, he was like, because he already had the edit of my remix, and he made his own version of it. He was just like, you know what, let's re-release this remix. It's fire. I've been playing it, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I can't complain with that. You know? Afrojack has been a huge influence on me.
How was it working with Lil Debbie? Is she your first like rapper that you've worked with?
She's actually my third rapper.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was a really cool experience working with Debbie. So I've known about her for a while, and when the demo had the Say My Name vocals were sent, like my team and my label, they were like, "This is perfect."
Yeah,
you know, like, say my
so
name,
good.
say my name, and she was like all about it too. So it was cool, like that we were all on the same page with it, and I'd say that I know the track was received pretty well.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself working more and more with rappers or getting more into hip hop, or what's the future?
Yeah, I'm actually have been producing more hip hop records. Some like hip hop, hybrid like EDM records, but that's definitely something I want to explore more. And then singers too.
Yeah.
Like the track that I have released with Kara, the most. More records like that. I mean, which is like completely different than hard trap.
Yeah. Has it been easy for you going from work, like collaborating with other producers to getting in a session, knowing how vocals work and everything?
Now it's becoming a little bit easier. My first couple of sessions, I kind of didn't know what I was really doing. Just had the basic like ideas. But yeah, it's just something that comes with practice. Every session has been different, and you kind of just got to feel the vibe out. But I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the session, you know, our goal is to make that slamming track, you know.
Yeah.
So we're both on that same page.
And you said in a previous interview that you want to or donate or something to ASPCA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a huge dog lover. I love dogs. I love animals. And I actually started volunteering. So I was walking dogs for like up to 2 hours a day.
Oh wow.
At NKLA, and just doing like hours there. So I mean, it was just kind of a cool activity to do.
Yeah.
When I'd come back from like shows, if I had some downtime, to just go over to the shelter or the center and go walk dogs, go help out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's with Best Friends organization. But yeah, I love dogs. See my Instagram. I'm just always liking dog pics. No shame.
How do you say your music has changed since the early songs you made?
I'd say the style has definitely changed. Like I've jumped from quite a few genres. Just try to get my feet wet, like with different sounds. And obviously, like on the technical side, like the quality has improved. I don't know. there's times where like my tracks, like my earlier tracks, were more complex, and then it's like, I don't know, it goes through, like, I go through these waves where like I'll write super complex tracks even if they don't get released, and then I'll just like work on something real simple. So it's like kind of hard to explain. Think about it.
How would you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
As a person, I've definitely gotten or became like more, I've gotten out of my shell, become more social, and a lot of that has been with the help of being in the music industry and being around people, DJing, meeting fans. Like that's helped me overcome like the social anxiety I used to have as a child and all throughout my like teenage years.
Would you say you're more introverted or extroverted?
More introverted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal with being with people like all the time? It's like difficult, and especially when you're touring, you need like personal space and stuff. Or, like,
You
time
just gotta
alone.
balance your time.
Yeah.
Balance your time, your energy. Like, it's good to decompress and have time alone or go take walks. Because I love being around people. But yeah, of course, when you're there around people, you still need that balance, because like, and a lot of DJs have like touched on this. You literally go like 0 to 100 and then 100 to
Yeah.
0 when you're like at a show, and like it's just like it's fun, it's people, and then that night you're back in your room, or that next morning you're sitting in the airport by yourself, and it's like,
Yeah.
so you gotta like balance that. I mean, I love it. I love people, but you still need that time to like get your energy back up.
Exactly. I feel like, because I'm also introverted, so I'm like, I don't know how they deal with that. I feel like I'd want to
Yeah.
be alone for so much of the time.
I mean, no, there's a lot of DJs that are introvert, or they were like kind of similar story. They grew up maybe not top of their class, or like a popular kid, or straight up they'll call themselves like nerds or outcasts.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, we all kind of deal with it
Yeah.
differently,
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far? Could be in your personal life.
My biggest challenge so far, my personal life. Let's see. Let me start with my career first.
Okay.
And then maybe that answer will come natural.
Yeah.
I think just biggest challenge has been staying consistent with work, because as touring has picked up, like I have to readjust my schedules and understand like, the studio is not that accessible anymore when you're on the road constantly. So just keeping up that workflow while I'm still like touring has been a challenge.
Yeah.
And thinking about personal life, maybe just being more organized. Yeah, with that.
What does love mean to you?
Love means, it's gonna sound cliche, but passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty much passion. And love doesn't have to be for a person. It can obviously be for a thing, or for a hobby. Love is love.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for my impact on the dance music scene as the creator of hard trap, and one of the driving forces for hard dance music in America, and
Yeah.
not only in America, but anywhere I've played and brought that sound to all over
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, Lo, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, thanks for taking the time.